think it felt surreal. I don't know.
Yeah, becoming parents definitely felt surreal. It almost felt like, are you really my children? Like, oh my God, like this is like a dream come true. And it's almost like an adjustment process. 4.5 years of going through fertility cycles and the adoption process, really trying to get what you want, and then all of a sudden, with the snap of a finger, you actually do.
I think we've been speaking on the phone every day for weeks already, and Stacy said what did you say now? You said something like, so are we officially
I made him
going
actually
out?
ask me out. Like, will you go out with me? Those words had to come out of his mouth.
About 6 or 7 months into trying to have a family without success, Stacy got the feeling that we sort of needed some assistance.
When we first started the IVF cycle, we thought this is like so extreme, it always works. I happened to my cousin did an IVF cycle and she had triplets. So we were just very, very positive. So I would wake up around 5 in the morning, drive to whichever fertility clinic I was going to at the time, wait for about an hour in the waiting room, and then they would call me, I would give blood, go back to the waiting room, I would wait for about another half hour. The doctor would call me back and they would do an internal sonogram, try and run and make it to my first class in school, go about my regular day until about 4 o'clock, get a phone call from one of the nurses at the fertility clinic who would tell me the protocol for that night and for the following morning on what the dosage of medication needs to be. Come home, give myself anywhere between 2 and 3 injections in the evening, anywhere between 2 and 4 injections in the following morning.
And I remember one morning Stacy woke up and just sort of sensed something wasn't right. And I was waiting and getting a little more nervous as time went on. Stacy came downstairs crying. I knew it couldn't be good. And she said basically that the doctor didn't hear the heartbeat that morning. At that point, it was pretty much assumed that the pregnancy was no longer viable. Every cycle of IVF brings with it such hope that things are going to work out. And I remember just speaking with the Sloanums before, during, and after every cycle. For inspiration, they always made us feel like things were going to go in our favor.
They became really our surrogate family. After about 7 failed attempts, we started the adoption process. As part of that process, we needed letters of recommendation. We had called the Sloanums to let them know that in addition to doing IVF cycles, we were also going to start pursuing adoption.
He was too quick to oblige to write us a letter of recommendation.
Yeah, it was so personal. When we read it, it brought tears to our eyes.
Noah's birth mother was going into labor. Stacy called me, and I jumped, getting off at the train station, literally running home to meet Stacy, who was already packing the car.
And then we were off, we drove to Pennsylvania.
Same way to go up to Binghamton that we had done 1,000,000 times was pretty much the same direction we drove to pick up Noah.
While we were in the hotel in Pennsylvania, we did get a phone call from Max's birth mom saying that she was in labor.
And I hopped the next available flight with my mother-in-law to Alaska. All the while we had this little deep secret that no one knew about at the time, which was nice. It was our little secret that Stacy was at the same time pregnant with our twins. We always felt like the whole Sloanum family was pulling for us. One simplest Torah holiday, Stacy and I decided to spend in Binghamton. The whole time there was this feeling from all the children. They knew our plight, they knew our struggles, and you could tell they were making an extra effort to make sure we were celebrating and having a good time, and gave us this general feeling that good news was right around the corner. Without having said anything, we could tell that that's what they were thinking, and just gave us such inspiration and the strength to continue on our path.